And we're back with an all-new episode of Keep It. I'm Louis Vertel, and oh my God, the heights are wuthering. Look it up in the dictionary. Not sure what it means, but they are. Trust me on that. But more exciting, today's co-host is the fabulous Mariah Smith, co-host of Smith Sisters Live on Sirius XM.
Yes.
The funny just pops off with this woman.
Oh, God, it pops off with you.
Oh, thank you.
Stop flattering me. I'm a blush.
I just want to say, is hosting a Sirius XM show like the most... Like, you're put through your paces immediately. Like, you learn everything about the biz as soon as you're doing it. Because how many hours of material have you actually recorded at this point? Like, millions?
I would say we're hitting that 10,000 hour mark, and Malcolm Gladwell will be very proud of us. Like, we are, and because we're daily now, and we just talk.
Right. No, it's like old school, like radio people. You know, like Betty White once upon a time, I think she said she would record up to 4 hours a day of radio. It's like, oh, no wonder you're like a entertainment legend.
Because you just know how to talk.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a shock that they let me on the air live, as my sisters will always attest to. I co-host the show with my sisters. And it does help me censor myself and also just not care what I say or what anyone thinks at all.
You can kind of trust that you won't say the most profane thing while also actually expressing yourself.
Right. Because people gonna like it or they gonna hate it, and I don't care.
Yeah. What? Now, do you really like jam with your sisters that well? I have three brothers and I enjoy them, but I mean, can I talk to them for hours?
Where do you
Who
fall
knows?
in the lineup?
I'm second oldest.
Okay, and what are the year differences?
I'm my older brother's 2 years younger than me, and my younger brothers are 2 and 2 more years. Yeah.
So my sisters and I are all 2.5 years apart, and we are best friends. We get along almost too well, as my therapist would say. We're all in each other's business at any given moment, talking to them all day. We'll be on FaceTime, and our mom is like, "Are you guys practicing for the show?" And we're like, "No, we're just having a conversation. Just having a conversation. That's just it." So we're truly best friends, and we've all always worked together on different things before we even started the radio show.
And yet, you still gel. I mean,
Love it.
God or the devil's on your side. I don't know what's happening here.
Maybe both.
Okay.
Maybe both.
Now, speaking of haunted things, the trailer for Wuthering Heights is out, the new Emerald Fennell joint, who was recently on Keep It. Very funny woman. She also directed Saltburn and won the Oscar for writing Promising Young Woman and directing it.
Wow.
She was also a Best Director nominee. Here, she's back, and she appears to be horned.
I mean, let me tell you something. I never watched Euphoria.
Yeah.
I've seen this Jacob Elordi out in the streets.
Well, he's taller than the trees, so you can't avoid him.
When he walked through that little door, I said, "Now wait a second.
What?
I'm looking." When I saw his little arms popping out, he was cleaning something up or doing something hunched over. I said, "I'm looking." All right. I might have to be wuthering those heights, and I don't like seeing movies.
Yeah. Oh, you're anti-movie.
I'm not anti-movie. I'm sort of anti-prestige. I'm not one to be like, I gotta hit the theaters. I am not an AMC Stubbs member. I'm one of the few in entertainment and TV writing that isn't like this nice little thing popped out. I watch Hallmark movies, X-Men, reality TV, and SVU.
Wow, Mariah, you came here to fight.
I did. Okay. I'm ready.
I can dial into a Hallmark movie every once in a while, especially since now they're in this business of once every 9 times we're gay.
They're trying.
Yeah.
They're trying, but it's always the same crop of gay people.
Right.
But
it's Aaron Samuels from Mean Girls every time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's sort of equality because it is the same crop of straight people every film as well.
Oh, sure.
So
Lacey Chabert's still like, God damn it, Christmas is back.
Those people, I'm shocked they don't have citizenship in Canada because they are always there filming.
Yes.
But
okay. Yes, you're right. This trailer, deeply smoldering. I have to say, well, Elordering, moving on.
Ooh.
Jacob Elordi, I actually stan because he was in the movie Priscilla where he played Elvis Presley.
Right, I forgot he was one of our Elvises during that era.
Yes, when we had multiple ones. Yeah.
Whoa.
And he was great in that movie. And I didn't care for the actual Elvis movie we got with Austin Butler because I find
heard it was too long.
It was too long and too much like everything Baz Luhrmann does, a pop-up book.
Yeah, that is the best way to describe it.
Too many images.
It's almost like if you're in a haunted house and it's like what's coming around the corner. Like it's very much a fun house of sorts. I would say.
Yes, but also like the way that like kids got the seizures from the Pokemon stuff. That's how I feel about his movies.
It needs a warning.
Yes, precisely. And then we also have Margot Robbie, who I do believe is kind of capable of doing everything in an Emma Stone way.
I do, and I think people, and I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but as I mentioned earlier, I don't care. I think people think Sydney Sweeney is on the Margot Robbie track when that could not be further from the truth.
Well, yeah, she's in this new movie where she plays a female boxer, and so it's sort of giving I, Tonya, like, which was sort of Margot Robbie's crowning moment.
When people were going to take her seriously.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's in the cards for Miss Sweeney, but Margot, I ride for my Barbie. I love that woman.
Yeah. No, she can do anything. She also has kind of a sly humor about her, so you can kind of underestimate the funny she brings to the screen. Not that she's bringing it in this role where she's just climbing this tree of a man.
Ain't nothing funny about that bosom.
No.
Like, I said, well, baby, that's a little low for them times.
Right. Right. It's like, it's the 1700s.
Honestly, cover up. I thought it was just ankles. And I'm not saying she shouldn't show nothing, but it was shocking.
No, the amount of bosom here, it's like she's one of the ladies in Wild Wild West, the movie.
I have heard of that.
Yeah,
yes.
Which is also a historical epic if you've not seen it.
I won't be seeing it.
Yeah. Will Smith, they tried, and they fought a giant spider at the end, and I can't explain why they did that.
Can we explain why Will Smith did a lot of things, though? But...
No. But anyway, I have to say I'm looking forward to this movie, and I'm a big fan of the old Wuthering Heights adaptations. The one from the 30s with Laurence Olivier and Merle Oberon. That's like the first time you got a smoldering man on the silver screen. Yes. Laurence Olivier was sort of the first real tall, dark, and handsome movie star.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow. I would have thought, I guess Marlon Brando isn't tall.
No.
He wasn't tall.
No, he was the first hot man. That's different.
Okay. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me. I needed to learn.
That was the first person we could actually picture having sex in a movie.
But Laurence Olivier was like up
here. Yes. Like he could also
aspirational.
Yes, he could hold the Shakespearean skull, and then he could also romance a woman. But Marlon Brando is like, I'm sweaty and
I'm just hot.
Right, and I'm gonna invent poppers. You know what I'm saying?
He's done a lot for our culture.
Yes, continues to.
Always pops up in a rumor or some memoir now to this day.
No, excuse me, like if you gave him 5 minutes, he'd fuck that plant.
Honestly,
I mean, he'd anything.
If it has a heartbeat and a consent, he's in it.
Right. And I'm sure if you get into the memoirs, it's dicey.
It is.
Yes. But anyway, I was initially protective over the kind of text of Wuthering Heights because it's Emily Bronte's famous novel, Alex Trebek's favorite book.
Wow.
Who knew? But sex it up. Why not?
Is it? I have never been one to, again, I mentioned I'm not a prestige person. I also have not read many of the what I'll call white classics.
Yes.
Like I'm well versed in a Toni Morrison, like
please,
lover. But I wasn't realizing Emily Bronte was doing it like that.
Yeah, well, I think Emerald Fennell is sort of like pump the nitrous into this. It's going to be a little more high octane, you know.
Oof, man, and then the music by Charlie XCX, we're in for a treat.
I do think that's the one part of the trailer that was kind of ingenious, like making it feel like it belongs in 2025, because this is a tale as old as time, almost literally. So
I'm sad. This is something I truly would go see. They got me.
All right.
And Jacob, I will be following his every move.
Yeah, and you'll need a grappling hook because if you want to get to his level.
Baby, I'm ready to climb. I'm ready. I got a rock climbing gym on standby, and I'm practicing to reach the top.
All right. Well, this episode will be climbing together as we conquer a whole bunch of vistas. First of all, we're going to talk about the VMAs and the pop girls in general who've put out a bunch of stuff over the past couple of weeks. We got a new Sabrina Carpenter album. We have new tracks from Lady Gaga. Justin Bieber is back in it.
And I would consider him a girly.
Yeah. Also, the swag continues.
The swag continues. Some would say the swag is depleting in swag too, but I loved it.
Me too. It's still swaggressive, if you will.
Did you listen to Swag 1?
Yes.
Okay, so I think that Swag 2 is slightly poppier than Swag 1.
We'll get into that. That's exactly what I want to discuss. We'll discuss that. Our guest today is the fabulous director who also made a fabulous cameo in the studio earlier this year, Nicholas Stoller, who is here to talk about the second season of Platonic with Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne, two of the most dependable and likable celebs.
Yes, I would say they seem like two of the celebs you'd want to actually go get a drink with.
Yeah, also it's like there's something about celebrities in general where you're kind of unconsciously keeping track of how many friends they have and if they're famous too. Yes. And when somebody's out on an island, you're like, what's wrong with them? But everybody loves Rose Byrne. Everybody loves Seth Rogen.
So
they've got to be having a good time.
Got to be having a good time.
So be prepared for that. And you will be prepared for the rest of the episode once we start it right after this. Keep It is brought to you by Koyuchi. I am So excited to tell you about our sponsor, Koyuchi. Koyuchi is in a league of its own when it comes to bedding, bath, and home products. And their organic crinkled percale sheet set is the key to a cooler, healthier sleep year-round. I care a lot about my diet and my skincare routine. Doesn't it show? Take a moment. But only recently have I thought about how important what I sleep on is to my health and to my wellness. Bedding improves everything. You remember good bedding. I would honestly say that your entire stay at a hotel depends, the goodness of it, on whether the bedding slayed. There are lots of choices for organic bedding out there, but Koyuchi stands above the rest because of their 35-year heritage, their extraordinary quality, and their commitment to ethical production. And how does 35 years of experience help me trust this brand? You can feel the 35 years of research. I can picture these scientists in the lab being like, it's not cozy enough. It's not gorgeous enough. And now it is. Invest in your health and the best sleep of your life. The organic crinkled percale sheets are naturally cooling for a restful sleep and certified to be free of toxins and harmful chemicals that could seep into your skin. You can sleep well and safely with Koyuchi. Koyuchi is luxury that you can feel good about, whether it's bedding or bath towels, table linens, crib sheets, or spa robes. All of Koyuchi's products are of the absolute highest quality, made with natural fibers, low-impact dyes, and certified fair trade. Koyuchi looks great, feels amazing, and is good for your health and the planet. If you want healthy, handcrafted luxury bedding that lasts a lifetime, you need Koyuchi. Get 15% off, do it now, when you visit koyuchi.com/keepit. That's koyuchi.com/keepit to get 15% off, koyuchi.com/keepit. Keep It is brought to you by OneSkin. I don't know if you've ever seen video of Keep It, but I have what we call gossamer skin, real Julie Andrews shit. And I need everything I can to prepare it for any element. Like, you think the sun is a problem? Most light bulbs are a problem. I'm in danger right now. All of OneSkin's products are designed to layer seamlessly or replace multiple steps in your routine, making skin health easier and smarter at every age. Certified safe for sensitive skin, that's me. Their moisturizers are free from over 1,500 harsh or irritating ingredients. They're dermatologist tested, and they've been awarded the National Eczema Association Seal of Acceptance. OneSkin has also attracted A-list fans, including Jennifer Aniston and Katy Perry, and as you know, they are my godparents. OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company targeting cellular aging to keep your skin and scalp looking and acting younger for longer. For a limited time, you can try OneSkin with 15% off using code KEEPIT at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code KEEPIT. After your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Try OneSkin today. Your future self will thank you. Last summer, Sabrina Carpenter dominated the charts with her breakthrough record and the VMAs' new album of the year, Short and Sweet. Now she's back with her highly anticipated follow-up, Man's Best Friend. Some fans say that the cover art is the most interesting thing about it, but Mariah and I will get into our own thoughts, the correct ones, right now. Then we'll also touch on the VMAs, Gaga, everything else in the pop world. Are you a Sabrina fan?
I am. I love her.
Yeah.
I think she's so funny. I think she's so cute. I think she's so talented and fun and just quirky in the best way. And she also makes great music.
Yes. No, I have to say she's so good in a way that she kind of renders other stars a little bit moot. Like, we kind of at one point thought Katy Perry was the funny pop star. We thought Carly Rae Jepsen was the bubblegum pop girl.
Mm-hmm.
And now she sort of does both of those avenues a little bit better than they do. I love you, Carly Rae. This is not meant to be a slight.
Yes. No, I know exactly. I totally understand what you mean, because she has come up in an era where she's done so much. And she even mentioned in her VMAs speech, like, if you love Short and Sweet, Man's Best Friend, or like the 20 other albums I did before this, she's been working.
Yeah.
She's been ramping up. We were talking about 10,000 hours. She has her 50,000 at this point. And everything she does is almost unintentionally funny, but purposefully cheeky.
Yes,
which
right.
I love.
And it's also, it's not like she's being funny in a way where like she's being cooler than the pop music. It's like, no, she wrote it, and it's like there's a romantic quality to her melodies and classic pop sound, but then she undercuts it with a real, sometimes vulgar sense of humor,
which
and I
is
love that
amazing.
combination. You know, in this new single, Tears Run Down My Thighs, exactly the kind of gross but fun and endearing lyric I love from her.
But the first line of the song is, I get wet at the thought of you. I'm like, no one's doing it like Sabrina.
That reminds me of like Janet, like at her horniest.
Yes.
You know, when like there would be interludes on her album, like 21 seconds moaning.
Yeah. And that's what people forget. That's where we've come from.
Yeah.
We're just so used to, everyone knows I'm not a Swiftie, but I love Taylor Swift's writing. I can respect that. But hers is still very mainstream, very safe, very comfortable in terms of what she's putting out, no matter the age she is. But Sabrina is just straight out the gate, straight out the mainstream gate, giving it to us in whatever way she wants.
Right. Like genuinely a little controversial, but also like pleasant and conversational. There's a lot there. And also, I was watching an episode of Siskel and Ebert recently, as I'm wont to do. And they were talking about how the actor George C. Scott was talking about the 3 things he loves in actors. And one of them is a joy of performing. When I watched Sabrina Carpenter at the VMAs and she's, doing her little Betty Boop winks and sauntering around the stage, you can tell she's enjoying the hell out of it.
Yes.
And some people, that's just not the vibe. They're going through the motions. And I would say that about other performers that night. And God knows I love, speaking of tall drinks of water, like Jacob Elordi, somber, sort of just like falling around the stage, being 6'7", which by the way is a vibe.
Yes, is already he's won.
Yes, right. And again, I have my rope ladder and I'll be going on up.
Ready to go.
But no, there's just the ebullience she brings. That quality of hers reminds me of actual young Madonna, where she's just like, I love you looking at me and I'm looking you in the eye as you do it.
There's such an ease, and every motion and action and move, it feels unplanned. Yeah. But well thought out. Did you see her Christmas special?
Oh, yes. Which, by the way, you would think she would be like 3 years off from having something like that. But her humor lent itself to that so well.
And her Christmas music is probably going to start rivaling Ariana's in terms of, younger pop girl Christmas. But that show, I had already loved Sabrina. But after watching that, I was like, I will ride for this girl no matter what. Yeah. She is it, and she is our truest pop star in this moment. And I'm so happy she blessed us with another album so soon after Short and Sweet.
So what are your feelings on Man's Best Friend?
I think I like it more than Short and Sweet.
No, that's crazy. All right. Now, why do you like it more?
Because as I was listening, every song felt like a different genre, like Never Getting Laid or... Never Get Laid. Mm-hmm. And I was like listening to it and I'm like, oh, this sounds truly, I think, like almost country. Like things sound like every genre you could imagine, but still in her voice and still so vulgar yet sweet. Yeah. And I don't know, I like the tone better. I like just the sort of more laid back vibe.
Yeah, it's a bit swimmy.
Yeah.
My thing is, I think it's a solidification of her talents and a solidification of her voice. Mm-hmm. Like the lyrics remain witty, and she's always talking about relationships or problems in relationships that are not stereotypes.
Right.
Like she's always finding like a problem to have with a guy that I can't say I've heard in a song by, Ariana or whomever. And I appreciate that. I do feel like it's a bit too many lyrics for like the kind of classic melodies she's going for. And sometimes I felt like on this album, the amount of jokes and the amount of lyrics and stanzas we're hearing was a bit compensatory for the lack of like espresso level melodies.
You're right. There are none like that. Yeah. There are none. The closest thing I could think to that would be House Tour.
Which is great.
I think that's probably my favorite song on the album right now. But sort of like Swag, how we were touching on that, those are the leftovers of, the original album. I think a lot of these were recorded for Short and Sweet and just got sort of bumped off, which is why they all have similar tones in terms of messaging, but they do work together. They're cohesive as a singular album.
Right. And I want to say there's a particular feel to that kind of album, like Radical Optimism by Dua Lipa. I don't know if this is true or not. Felt like B-sides of the album that preceded it, Future Nostalgia. The Sweet Escape by Gwen Stefani felt like B-sides of Love Angel Music Baby.
Yes. And it's sort of like the Jekyll and Hyde of albums. And I really like them. I'm like, this is one of the few times where I really think, well, I do want to hear every artist's like unreleased music from that they couldn't put on the album for whatever reason. But I think this is very well done. Yeah. In terms of using what you have in the bank to make more content and make more money.
I also love the song Goodbye on the album, which is the last track, because it has that ABBA-esque effervescence, like Goodbye, is the big melody. But then it's a nasty song.
Yes.
Which is very please, please, please. It sounds like this pleading, romantic, girlish song. And then it's actually a song about, if you fucking embarrass me, I'll leave.
It's high time for a young girl to say this. It's high time. Like, we have she's now getting a little bit more of the same grace we'll give our male artists, like with Harry and Watermelon Sugar. People weren't talking as much about how vulgar that is.
Yeah, you're right.
And they weren't worried about, our children are going to be hearing this overly sexualized song, da-da-da. Why is it okay for Harry to be bopping around in his 70s pants singing about, and she can't do whatever she wants?
Now, unfortunately, I'm thinking about how that album won Album of the Year over Renaissance.
Don't get me started.
Guys, under
Harry.
what metric would that be excusable? It was a fine album, right? I remember that song.
It was a polite album. It
Thank you.
Was just it was very pleasant, very Harry. I enjoyed it. Can it beat Renaissance in any race?
No. And also, it's like, I literally went on a party boat devoted to Renaissance. You couldn't do that with the Watermelon Sugar Kid. I'm so sorry.
Watermelon Sugar Kid. I dare Harry to task his fans, and he has some hardcore fans, to adhere to a dress code at his concert.
Dang.
And none of them would do it.
No, well, they're mostly, I say this affectionately, 60-year-old moms. I'm sorry. And who like look at Harry and be like, oh my God, he looks like Leif Garrett or some 80s heartthrob. And they love that about him.
Yes, and he's dressing the part.
Yes. Thank God. Anyway, sorry to revisit that trauma. Moving on. The VMAs, here's the thing about the VMAs. Every year you think, oh, we don't really need this award show anymore. It's like Paola's Choice. Like whoever wins is just like happen to be around. But then you realize it's an extremely highly produced award show no matter what. So it's always, at the very least, entertaining. Were there other performers that stuck out to you?
Okay, so first, about the VMAs, I always forget when they're going to happen.
Right.
And then every Sunday, I'm like, oh, I guess I'll watch that tonight. Like, that is what's going on. I also think MTV needs to get their act together and not air their marquee show on CBS.
That was weird, because that used to be like the anti-CBS show. And now it's like all of cable television is congealed,
mixed in together. I'm an icon. I love seeing Cat's Eye perform Gnarly at the pre-show on the small stage. But as for the main show, obviously loved Gaga.
Yeah. Gaga is deeply in her Yorgos Lanthimos stage.
She is doing the most. And the fact that she literally choppered from the arena to go to MSG. Beautiful.
You know what my favorite thing she did all night was? And this is so typical of even the earliest days of Gaga. When she won the award, the paper she pulled out was black and matched her outfit.
Iconic. Black with white text. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was,
what is that, like gel pen? Who wrote that for her?
It did look like gel pen. It looked like it was like a modern quill and just written through. I was fascinated that so many of our artists were so touched to win a VMA.
Yes. But which is interesting because, is that good acting? Because I feel like if you're at the ceremony, you kind of know you won.
You're going to win.
Yeah.
You know you're going to win. Ariana crying, I'm like, I get it. I understand it. But sweetie, you're in Wicked.
Yeah. Right. You're an Oscar nominee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you
might be one again.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, this won't get you anywhere near an EGOT, which you're on the road to it. So save your tears.
That's right.
I'm sure they could be used elsewhere.
I feel like people like her are obsessed with thanking people, though. Like when she won the Video of the Year award, and we'll talk about that. She won for a 26-minute short film, which I'm going to say is a little bit breaking the rules, especially since there were no other ones like that in the category.
Exactly. That's not a music video. It's, again, a short film.
It's like if Moonwalker won Video of the Year. It's like you can't just because you throw Joe Pesci in something and it's an hour long doesn't mean it's a music video.
She said when she was thinking like the Crafty and crew for their long shoot days, I'm like, if you were shooting this for more than 3 days, now music videos don't take that long.
Right.
We know exactly what we're getting and we're getting out of there. You should not be shooting a quote unquote music video for days on end and get to know Crafty.
Yeah. Right. They should not be familiar.
They should not be familiar. With all due, you should not know the crew because these should be people you've never seen before working on a location you've never been, and you're in and out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You're in like Atlanta for 19 hours and then you leave.
Yeah. And you mind your business.
I did enjoy her speeches, of course.
Did.
She's a hard person to dislike.
No,
and by the way, I try. I want to find reasons for celebrities to have wronged me, but she really is not just like grateful, but like pretty like think on her feet funny.
Yes.
And so I can always appreciate that she doesn't seem ultra scripted all the time.
She doesn't take herself seriously.
Yeah.
She takes the work seriously. Like those are my favorite type of people. You take the work seriously, but you don't take yourself seriously, which Sabrina Carpenter lands in that category for me as well. And Ariana's just so, I just want to hang with her. I want to be your friend. I'm like, you're so cool and chill and so talented. You shouldn't be as cool and chill as you are.
I feel like if you became friends with her, that you'd get a window into an even snarkier humor.
Oh, God.
So there's sort of an enticement there for me. Like, I want to know the real her.
I want to know what her close friends looks like. I bet she goes off.
Now, speaking of naughtiness, did you see a performance by this alleged Canadian, though it was not a polite performance at all, Tate McRae?
Tate McRae. I wasn't clocking her as much as I should have been all these years, but that was a great performance.
Excuse me. That is like if The Exorcist happened to Shakira. This woman was on stage. And first of all, it started off like normal pop singing. She did that song Sports Car. We've heard 10,000 times. Mm-hmm. She was looking at us with those porny eyes. And she's one of our porniest pop stars. You know, everything's like...
Everything's sultry. Everything's a look. Everything's a little bit of hair in the face.
Maxim Hot 100 every time.
Yes.
And then she gets down in like the dirt or the sand or whatever that is. And her legs are flapping around. And it was like satanic semaphore. I wanted to join 1 Million Moms. I was like, this is not safe. By the way, I love 1 Million Moms. My favorite conservative organization. It's like 4 moms and an uncle.
Yes. And they're like, but we are emotionally 1 million.
Right. Just lying. But here.
You feel about Tate McRae's performance as every religious person felt about Sam Smith's performance at the Grammys that one year. What is it? Holy? What was the song?
Unholy. Yes.
And for me, the Tate McRae, I was like, okay, you can... Physically, she was killing it.
Yes.
I wasn't really understanding the vocals because I just wasn't paying attention, so I don't know if she can sing.
Oh, I don't know if there are even words in the song.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I can't recall any... It was basically like a silent film.
No, she was
doing it so you
her
think
vocals
you can
are like
dance,
goo goo gaga, and I'm like, okay, great.
Great. Dancing on top of people, dancing in sand. Have at it.
The leg choreography, do you know what it reminded me of? It took me a while to piece together. Dolphin show, Brookfield Zoo. Picture when the dolphins come on up. They get close to the edge, and then they're like waving at you with the tail fin.
Yes.
And you're like, that's so cool, except I'm also scared, Keiko, and there's always a Keiko.
I can't stand you. That is probably one of the best ways to describe what we saw on television last night.
It also, I mean, just the choreography was so rigid. That reminded me of like Rhythm Nation era Janet. Just the sheer like leg choreography was militaristic.
She's very, it's a very, like taught. Like she's taught. Trained.
Yeah.
She's like,
she was on So You Think You Can Dance as a teenager.
Can Dance as a teen. She is never going to lose that professional sort of modern contemporary dance vibe, and as a pop star it's a little bit hard to see those, you know, contending with one another.
Yeah.
But I think as she grows, I hope she pulls a Dua Lipa and learns from the feedback. Dua basically learned how to move on stage because we were tired of seeing her sway her hips and snap her finger from side to side.
Right.
Hopefully Tate can loosen up a little bit but still keep the essence of the sensuality, the kicking, the flipping, the splitting, all of that.
Yeah, it does feel like we are lacking slightly in person, and as in like connecting with the audience. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, I agree. It's like she's Cirque du Soleil, and we can see that.
Yes.
But also, say something to us.
What's the story?
Right. Again, you're from Canada, so I know there's like
something,
a fear in you, and I want to see it.
But can't be that much fear if she's in tidy whities moving her legs like that on TV.
No, her legs were in full pretzels. Like, I mean, she tied herself up and she said, here I am.
And what?
She's like, dip me in honey mustard.
And what? She said, I'm ready for my cinnamon and sugar Wetzel.
How lucky that Wetzel got into pretzels. How lucky.
I mean, I know his mom was like,
this would work out for us so much if you could just get into the pretzel industry.
Like, you would be doing us all a service. And there he did. He succeeded, and I love him for it.
Other things I enjoy. You know what I like about the VMAs too is because it's now this like hallowed award show for MTV, they can just bring back people from any era. It was nice to see Jessica Simpson and Ashley Simpson again.
Crazy. It was Ricky Martin?
Excuse me, Ricky Martin, his deal with the devil going amazing.
Whatever he has, give it to me.
I mean, I have no guess. HGH, Botox?
I don't even, I could not, my face when I saw how jacked he was, I said, how many push-ups are you doing every hour?
Right.
He's he's aging backwards.
No, how many push-ups are you doing onto like needles full of shit? Because I have no idea what's happening here.
Whatever it is, the way he moves,
Sounds
whatever
great.
stretches he's doing, whoever his Pilates instructor is, whoever his personal trainer is, step up.
Yeah. By the way, the amount of people who, I mean, like Steven Tyler was there toasting Ozzy Osbourne. He looks the same as he did in like the Jaded video, which is 25 years old now. That was weird. LL Cool J, who I guess is in some like cryogenically frozen Kangol hat all the day. What is happening?
Whatever's in that hat it's like Professor X's helmet. It is keeping something in and preserving him in such a way. I will say, and I hate to say.
Go ahead.
Whatever LL and Ricky have, spare some for Miss Carrie.
Right.
She looked beautiful.
Yeah.
Looked beautiful. But as my sisters and I said, why she never moved on her own.
Yes.
Was always handheld, walked across the stage, was never moving her neck. I feel like she might have hurt her back. Now,
let me just say, you're obviously protective over this as the preeminent other Mariah. Yes. So you're thinking of Mariah constantly.
I'm thinking of the Mariah community. We are 1 million strong, AKA 2. And I never want to bring another one down.
Yeah, right. Naturally.
And I was so perplexed. And I said, baby, I'm going to need you to see you move, bend, or twist. Give me a sign of life.
Can I tell you something? I have such conflicting feelings about Mariah Carey when I watch her on stage, which is I'm always happy to see her speak because she allows herself to remain a bit conversationally funny. But then there also seems to be like a stiltedness and a bit of a fear about her.
Yes.
And so it's like not only is she sort of being walked around a stage whenever she's performing, and of course she won the Video Vanguard Award, and she also won her first ever VMA.
She and Busta Rhymes.
What the fuck is that?
That is crazy. And clearly, if they're good enough to win your video music prestige awards, whatever, however many they had that night, you're telling me not one video was capable of winning a VMA in all these years?
Right, and she's directed her videos in the past too. So she's like an innovative performer and video artist in that way. But like watching her, it's like you're kind of wishing for another uninhibited moment from her, and it's like she doesn't allow you to have that. It's like I sense a reticence about her generally.
I want another Mariah's World docuseries, as they like to call it, because she was opening up a little bit more. And I think when she allows the world to see her be more free, especially with her kids, then her professional presence becomes a little bit more relaxed. But there's always I just want to shake her and say, it's okay. Loosen up, Mariah.
Right.
We got you.
And of course, I mean, if we're talking about the videos of her career, I can't even pick a favorite song. I was happy with some of the songs we heard her do sing. We Belong Together was there. We got some Honey in there, you know.
We got Obsessed. We got got a little bit of that. So
do you have a favorite Mariah deep cut? I love it. Now That I Know, if you know that song, which is on Music Box. Great song.
The thing is, I realize I'm not a deep cut person. My favorite song is probably Obsessed. I'm very...
Well, that's also a funny song.
Yeah. So I'm like, and I think of it as one of our... We give Not Like Us a lot of flowers for being one of the most commercially successful, like, beef diss tracks. But this is a diss track for Eminem, and it's so successful. Yeah. And I'm like, this is our pop girly Not Like Us. And I love that.
You're right. It is. And by the way, Not Like Us was also nominated for Video of the Year. I'm just saying that might have been a good win.
A good win. It might have. But in 50 years, they'll give Kendrick a VMA.
Yeah, right. Right. I can't wait to see that medley he finally gets to perform. We should talk about Justin Bieber really quickly, though. So I also like Swag 2 a little bit better. I feel like he's, to quote Gypsy, singing out more.
Yes. It's interesting to see his process because we have been invited into literally every step of the process of creating both of these albums almost without knowing it. Like hearing the issues he's had with Hailey, the way they're sort of rebuilding through this music. I'm like, she's a real one for allowing him to put all their stuff out like this, not just one song, but truly 2 albums.
Yeah.
And hearing him, just his voice and his swag and what he brings when he's in the studio, even if it's the worst thing ever written or performed, I'm still going to love it.
You know what? I would honestly say that the music he's putting out now is kind of what Justin Timberlake always dreamed he would be.
Oh, God.
Which is to
yes.
say it has actual R&B credibility.
Yes.
And also it doesn't feel strained at all. Like he's not trying to sound like a heartthrob. He just has a genuine sexuality in his voice. And I always felt Justin Timberlake was pushing in that regard and dressing, you know, in head-to-toe denim,
And
like the king of Armani Exchange.
Yeah, he would never be a heartthrob. I think anyone who even was Justin girl and NSYNC would say, oh, he's cute, he's handsome. I never in my life have thought of Justin Timberlake as a heartthrob, but I have thought of Bieber as a heartthrob.
I will say, though, about Justin Timberlake, and all the homosexuals out there know what I'm about to say, that Rolling Stone cover where he was shirtless, if you weren't awakened, he was kind of near a beach, I think.
Yeah, oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
and really like tan in a way that I don't usually associate with the Timberlakes.
Yeah, so maybe, listen, a broken clock is right twice a day.
Right.
So maybe he's a heartthrob every now and again. But Bieber, his delusion and chaos to me makes him hotter.
Yes,
and
there's
even
also
if Timberlake
actual chaos in
that,
the album.
Yes.
Because it's a ton of music and going lots of different directions.
44 songs in total on both, including both albums.
Right.
So, obsessed.
Actually, it's been a good week for the pop people, and I enjoyed Gaga's new tracks.
Yes.
Again, she's deep in her Yorgos Lanthimos. She's constantly like throbbing and wearing a handmaiden's outfit.
Just going for it. What is your favorite Gaga song on this album?
Oh, you know what? It changes over time. Shadow of a Man is the one I play the most often. To me, that's also kind of the struttiest and gayest.
Really?
Like, you know, like treadmill music. Which, by the way, I'm never on a treadmill, speaks to me. Yeah.
I love How Bad Do You Want Me? When the first time I heard it, I thought it was an old song.
Yeah.
And I was like, where am I? And I know that's not popular, but I love it.
Yeah. Well, also, I mean, like, I'm not a Taylor Swift stan myself, but when people compare it to her, I think it's favorable because it's like, it's got the things she's really good at, which is a strong melody and some conviction to it. But like, because it's Gaga, it's got even a more haunting thing
it has just a little more oomph under it. And again, as mentioned, I love mainstream pop, proud to admit it. So if it sounds like something that'd be on the radio 10 years ago, sign me up. Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, I mean, honestly, I missed 2009, 2010 Gaga when it was just like pure pop
paparazzi.
Bops. Yes.
That MTV, talk about the VMAs, that performance at the VMAs of Paparazzi where she has the blood come out of her stomach as she's being lifted up into the air. Amazing.
I think she is the reigning queen of the VMAs.
She is.
Because you know if she shows up, it's going to be
a show.
A gigantic production. And also, it's not going to be boring in one way or conventional in one way because you can tell she hates being bored, which is the closest thing she has to being like Madonna, whose whole career is dictated by, I'm not going to bore myself. Fun? Yeah, I refuse to be mediocre in terms of what I'm actually bringing to the stage. Well, that was lovely.
Love that.
When we're back, we're going to have the fabulous Nicholas Stoller with us. We'll be right back with more Keep It, but before that, some quick housekeeping. I'm excited to share with you the official Crooked Con lineup. What is Crooked Con, you say? I barely know. Crooked Con from your friends at Crooked Media is your chance to join some of the smartest organizers and least annoying politicians in America to strategize, debate, and commiserate about where we go from here, hopefully up. Guests include Sarah Longwell, Hassan Piker, Faiz Shakir, Brian Tyler Cohen, Jessica Tarlov, Senator Ruben Gallego, Andy Bashir, Representative Sarah McBride, Representative Janelle Bynum, Ben Wickler, Aaron and Alyssa from Hysteria, and more. I will also be attending, and I'm excited to meet you guys. We'll all be in Washington, D.C. on November 7th for a full day of exciting conversations, panels, workshops, and live pods. And by popular demand, Crooked just added some more tickets. See the full lineup and buy your tickets before they sell out at crookedcon.com. All right, when we're back, we're joined by Nick Stoller. Keep It is brought to you by Soul. I don't know if it's an age thing or just a me thing. I cannot stand being around people who are visibly wasted. Can you keep it together? This conversation sucks, and I'm still hilarious. If you're struggling to switch off at night from alcohol, Soul's out-of-office gummies can help you relax, quiet your thoughts, and fall asleep naturally. Just the right balance of CBD and THC eases you into a restful night. See, that's someone I like talking to, somebody on this stuff. Soul is a wellness brand that believes feeling good should be fun and easy. Soul specializes in delicious, hemp-derived THC and CBD products designed to boost your mood and help you unwind. Their best-selling out-of-office gummies were designed to provide a mild, relaxing buzz, boost your mood, and enhance creativity and relaxation. With 5 different strengths, you can tailor the dose to fit your vibe, from a gentle 1.5 milligram dose to their newest 15 milligram gummy for a more elevated experience. And if you like their out-of-office gummies, try the new out-of-office beverage, a refreshing alcohol-free alternative that's perfect for winding down on the couch or socializing with friends. Sol also has a variety of products specifically designed to help you get a better night's rest, including their top-selling Sleepy Gummies, a fan favorite for deep, restorative sleep. Now look, I don't drink, but I support people who do if they're cool about it. But here's the thing. Often, the next morning when I'm hanging with my friends who do drink, they are super groggy and not as rad as the night before. And I have to tell you, I'm exactly the same. So I want people to be able to keep up with me. And you know how they can do that? Sol. With wellness at the forefront, you can feel good about what you're putting in your body. All of Sol's products are made from organically farmed, USA-grown hemp and are vegan, gluten-free, low in sugar, and federally legal. Bring on the good vibes and treat yourself to Sol today. Right now, Sol is offering our audience 30% off your entire order. Go to getsol.com and use the code KEEPIT. That's getsol.com, promo code KEEPIT for 30% off. Keep It is brought to you by ZBiotics. I'm 39 now, and my friends and I aren't as pliable as we used to be. So when we're getting ready for a night out, I make sure everyone has ZBiotics at the ready. ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's a buildup of this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for rough days after drinking. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to make pre-alcohol your first drink of the night. Drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best tomorrow. I can attest, having gone out with friends, they literally say it works. I've told them to do this for me. I'm saying I'm not going to advertise a product that doesn't have medicinal, magical qualities. And I can name the people, but then I would sort of expose them as the drinkers they are. And so I'm just going to not do that. Fall is right around the corner, so that means it's time to raise a glass to your favorite team. Whether you are tailgating, enjoying a college game day, or watching Sunday's action on that fancy new TV, don't forget ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink. Drink a pre-alcohol before drinking and enjoy great days after celebrating all season long. Go to zbiotics.com/keepit to learn more and get 15% off your first order when you use Keep It at checkout. ZBiotics is backed with 100% money-back guarantee, so if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/keepit and use the code KEEPIT at checkout for 15% off. Today's guest is the writer and director behind your favorite films like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Neighbors, Bros, and many more. More recently, he's taken his talents to the small screen with the comedy series Platonic, which I love, and which recently dropped its second season on Apple TV+. He's here today to talk about all that and more. Please welcome to Keep It, Nick Stoller.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Oh, my God.
It's very exciting.
This show is such a pleasure. It was a pleasure last season, remains one now. And I'm realizing this is basically a company of actors. You have worked with these people. I'm blown away to realize the movie Neighbors is over a decade old.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's not cool.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
But even Forgetting Sarah Marshall feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's like 18 years old.
Which I refuse to, no, because that means I was up and walking and talking when that came out. So I can't.
Yeah. And Paul Rudd looks the same.
And Kristen Bell looks the same.
Kristen Bell looks the same.
Yeah, Mila Kunis. In
They all
fact,
look the same.
what's going on?
I don't know.
What are you doing? Clearly, you're the tie that binds.
We did this weird mysterious ceremony when we were there. No, I don't know.
Yeah, you imagine?
Well, you were on that beach. It could be like a Brady Bunch tiki situation.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Or it's like the opposite of old.
Yeah. Oh, finally. We need that.
Exactly. Young.
But let's talk about Platonic. What is it like creating comedy with people you've worked with this long now? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you have to push them at all to like get them to do new things or no?
No, I mean, I think it's, it is like we all really trust each other and we all really enjoy working together, which is why we keep working together. I know on Neighbors, it was pretty clear that Seth and Rose had this amazing chemistry that you kind of don't run across that much. On that movie, or both movies, Neighbors and Neighbors 2, because they were married, they couldn't brutally fight with one another, which they're able to do on Platonic. So we knew that when we approached them, and I do Platonic with my wife, so there's a lot of personal stuff happening in the in the show in terms of that, and so in terms of all of us working together. So yeah.
And also, I mean, just the show in general, I didn't realize was inspired by your wife and like how she found it difficult to have platonic friendships, like how controversial it felt to her to remain friends with men. How autobiographical is the show?
Yeah, so she thought of the idea. She had, we both had like all of us platonic friends, and particularly in our 20s and teens and 20s. But she had a few really good guy friends in her from college. And she found that as we got older and coupled up and got married and whatever, she would be spending more time. We'd go out to dinner and I'd be talking to the guy that had been her good friend, and she'd be talking to his wife. And she liked these men's wives. It wasn't that she didn't like them, but she was like, "What? Why is this happening? This is so weird." And so we started talking, and it was just kind of a subject that we would talk about in our house a lot. And then one day she was like, "What about if we did a TV show about this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a really interesting idea." And then we were like, "Oh wait, what about When Harry Met Sally?" It kind of said, and then we were like, "That's not a platonic friendship. That's a romance." And so that's where it came from.
I just want to say about When Harry Met Sally in general, what I think people forget about that movie is you don't really know it's a romance until the very end.
Right.
Like they just allow the relationship to exist the way it is, and then it ends up choosing that. But it's not like we broke up and got back together.
To be together. Now, I work with my sisters on a radio show, and we're very close. Is there like a conversation you had with your wife where you're like, this is work, and when we're home, this is home? Or do you ever cross that boundary, or is it just, if something comes up about the show, we'll talk about it, and then...
Yeah, I mean, we tend to mainly talk about the show when we're in the room, in the writer's room. We don't, mainly out of laziness. It's just hard to write. So it's not like a rule necessarily. And we work really well together. There's not, we did a show together called Friends from College for Netflix that we did before this. And it's really fun working together. We share, I think a point of view on the world, and we really trust a shorthand. And basically we both really care a lot and don't care at all is kind of the way we approach it. And so if one of us has a very strong feeling about something, then it will either go in or not go in. And we also trust each other and respect each other. So if she really doesn't like something, I'm like, there must be something wrong with this idea, or vice versa. So.
Great showrunners.
Yeah. Also, can you just talk about having met?
And we make out a lot in the room.
Oh, I see.
As you should.
That creates a dynamic.
As you should.
Exactly.
Just let your writers know this is what we're going for.
Yeah. Go to HR and try to explain this.
Yeah.
And then
it's like the weirdest. HR. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. My married showrunners keep making out in front of us. It's like the weirdest complaint.
They can only complain to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk about having actually met Rose Byrne for the first time, because she's in this category of actors for me where they are capable of really anything, but because of that, I almost wonder if it's like a detriment to them, like professionally, that you don't think of them for any one particular thing. Because she could star in an action movie, she could be up against Glenn Close on Damages, and just as easily be a crazy, silly person in the movie Spy.
Yeah.
So when you met her, did you have to sort of uncork a skill set from her? What happened upon meeting her?
Well, the first comedy she did was Get Him to the Greek. And she auditioned, and I was like, why is Rose Byrne auditioning? Because she'd done Damages. She'd done very great work that was super serious. And we had looked for that part. She was playing this character named Jackie Q, who's like a pop star. And she came into audition, and I was like, this is so random, but okay. And then she was so funny. It was crazy. And I was like, well, it was one of those instantly like, we're casting her. And she's a total comic genius. And she's she's like Peter Sellers. She can kind of do anything. I think she's an incredible physical comedian. And she's also, and she comes at stuff, she's very emotionally logical, if that makes sense. So she'll come at the script and be like, she'll very politely be like, does this part make sense? And we'll be like, oh wait, this part makes zero sense. And that's where, comedy comes from, is it has to be emotionally logical. And so she's really good at that, but she's also just super funny. And she's one of those actors, and there's not many of them, who requires no attention. Like if you came onto the set, you wouldn't necessarily notice that she's there at first.
Wow.
Yeah, she's very she keeps a low profile.
Hopefully she's not like Peter Sellers the way he was on set, though, where people would just leave in tears all day.
Oh, no.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah. She's, yes, I should say not personally like Peter Sellers.
So I'm also a writer and have very strong opinions about actors and actresses being like, well, I changed the script and did X, Y, and Z. So in such a collaborative process, and you trust Rose, you trust Seth, do you guys go to them with asking them for their input willingly, or is it an open dialogue on set? Like, what's that process?
Yeah, I mean, I'm generally quite collaborative. I feel like, I think TV and movies are inherently collaborative, since you're having other people say the things you're writing, unless you're acting in the thing, I guess. And so, yeah, I mean, we do table reads where we'll hear the thing out loud. We get their notes. Seth is one of the great writers ever. So if he has, on the first season, he didn't really, the first season you're figuring out the tone of the show and stuff. I remember we were in production, and he came up to us and he was like, the 9th episode just doesn't make sense. And it was one of those, and we looked at it and we were like, yep, he's right. It doesn't make sense. But he's a producer and a writer. So he was like, he knew the parameters. We had an ADU set. We had a house set. He knew what we could and couldn't do. And so we rebroke it with him and figured it out. And it became one of the best episodes of the season, I think. So it's like, so that's how he, but the second season, we didn't have anything like that. Sometimes he'll say like, he or Rose will be like, oh, I don't totally get this moment, or I don't understand this. And he, they both do a fair amount of improv. But although this, I would say the show is, 80 to 90% scripted by the time we do it. And that's also because we really know their voices.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You've directed so much comedy, and I imagine there are times when maybe it's a physically comic scene or just something where you have to nail the tone and the timing exactly right, where it's frustrating not to get it exactly right. Can you think of a particular scene you've had to realize that it took longer to figure out, or you just couldn't get it right for some reason, and then eventually beating it?
Yeah, I mean, that does happen. It's usually because the writing is wrong, or the idea I have is too broad, or not the right idea. It's not usually. It always is because of that. It's very rare that it's the actor can't do it. It's the actor usually can't do it because it's bad.
Oh God, that's very keen advice.
Yeah. So usually, I'm fortunate because I work with a lot of really funny actors. So I think that can happen. I have certainly worked with actors who are slightly more on the dramatic side, where I've been like, oh, this is their skill set, and I understand how to come at them with stuff. I mean, there was recent. I mean, it happens all the time. There was recently a joke I was trying to figure out on this movie I just did called Judgment Day, and we couldn't figure it out, and I just wasn't getting the right. And I was working with a really funny actor, and then I was like, oh, I just had to. I mean, it's not that interesting a story. I rewrote the moment, and then I was like, oh, that kind of works, and so so that's like
that is a good feeling about a joke. Like you sometimes feel like you are a slave to getting that particular, and then you can just rewrite it.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not. I'm always like, jokes are free. It's not something.
Honestly, and everything is changeable. Like as it say, don't get married to a thing in a script, because guess what? It could be a page one rewrite, and that's where we are.
It has to emotionally make sense.
Yeah.
If it doesn't emotionally make sense, you're screwed.
Even in a comedy, which people don't understand.
Oh yeah, comedies are dramas.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of comedies, you also appeared in the television series The Studio this year, playing yourself, and you were, of course, with Seth Rogen. Talk to us about being, I guess, not a caricature of yourself, but like somebody in a broad comedy who is Nick Stoller.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying that there's nothing in that show I wouldn't say if if the only thing I could make was the Kool-Aid movie, right now we'd be talking about the Kool-Aid movie. Like, I'm not too good. I just am very lucky, and I've been able to make my own original weird stuff. Yeah. But if suddenly Hollywood was like, nope, no more of that, I'd be like, okay, I'll do the Kool-Aid movie. So it was. I mean, they asked me to do it. I was very flattered. And I mainly just didn't want to screw it up. I was very nervous about memorizing the lines. I didn't want to, but I've directed so much now that I have some idea of how to do it, I guess, a little bit. And I remember Seth just being like, do nothing, just don't do anything. And so that was, although there was one funny thing happened, which is in the first episode, I'm pitching the Kool-Aid movie.
Yes. And if you haven't seen The Studio, by the way, please watch this television series.
Yeah, it's very funny. They did an amazing job. And I had nothing to do with it besides just getting this, and I'm pitching the Kool-Aid movie, and the joke in the scene is that Seth doesn't like my pitch. It's a pretty mediocre, shitty, like feminist version of the Kool-Aid movie. It makes no sense. And I'm pitching it, and Ike likes it, and I'm pitching it, and Seth I keep looking at Seth, and he's acting like he doesn't like it. And I'm getting more and more kind of like anxious. And I started to flop sweat. I started to sweat and get like more and more red. And because I was like, it's not working. My pitch isn't working. And then the scene ended, and I was like, that's method acting. It's not bullshit.
You're Uta Hagen.
It's not bullshit. I was like, oh, this is what all these actors are talking about. I got like sweaty and nervous, and like I felt bad. And then I was like, oh, okay, it's real.
That's an amazing experience for you to have, especially opposite someone you work with as an actor so much. That has, I'm sure, opened you up to a whole new world of even just writing and creating. You're like, I get this moment and how they will be in this moment, because I too am an actor.
Yeah, now I get it. Now I'm an actor. I'm an actor.
You're actually just as good as they are. I hope they were intimidated.
Yes, I did. I told them. No, it was more just the feeling. I was like, oh, this is what these feelings are real. It was just a funny experience.
Also, we have to talk about the movie Bros. Billy Eichner has been on this show a number of times. I'm a former writer for Billy on the Street. That movie has so much legit gay stuff in it.
So
Like,
it's a gay movie in my opinion.
No,
yeah.
also, but it was like, the movie Fire Island's like this too. It's like instructional about certain things that I had just never seen in a movie before.
Yeah.
But you also co-wrote the movie with him. You are not of gay experience.
I'm not. No.
Talk about putting that movie together.
of gay experience.
There's still time.
Yeah.
Talk about putting that together as Billy, I'm sure, is doing his best to like sandblast this script with things that are brand new to a mainstream audience.
I mean, I approached it the way, there's two kinds of movies I've made. There's like the more high concept movie like Neighbors or Get Into the Greek, which, and all my movies have something personal in them. It's not. And then there's the more kind of, for lack of they're fictional, so this is not the way to say it, but it's like it's something built around a persona. So like For Gangster Marshall is really built around Jason Segel.
Right.
And so Bros is built around Billy Eichner. And the process of that sort of movie is essentially a long interview. Where I just interview, like Jason and I talked about his dating, about his romance, and same with Billy and I, we just talked and talked. I talked about his entire life. It was basically a long therapy session is the only way I would describe it. And and I would take notes and we would talk about his life. And he's gay, and so that was a big part of the conversation. And from the very beginning, we were like, this has to be genuine, otherwise it won't be funny. And so that was kind of it. And so there wasn't really anything off the table. Like it was just like, let's put in everything that is real. And so,
I was a big fan in that movie of where he worked at the museum with the different LGBT people chiming in
The
about
archetypes. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
that
like
was
Dot
really
Marie
funny.
Jones, very
She's
funny.
so funny.
Yeah.
There was one thing that didn't end up in the movie that was funny, which was we were just like, I think this hurts the like kind of heteronormative rom-com-y thing, which is that Guy Branum said an offhand comment about Luke's character. He just went, oh yeah, we've all fucked him.
Jesus Christ.
And we were like, I mean, I think both of us were like, I don't know if that kind of
Here's the
ruins the romance of the movie.
Even though that movie was within the past, like 5 years?
Yeah, it's 2022, yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like, you could say that today. 2022 people weren't ready. 2025,
That's probably true.
Yeah, let's go in and just do an insert and put that in.
By the way,
it was just it just like was like, is it? Yeah. Anyways, that was the only thing I could think of.
also Guy Branum is of course on Platonic also, and I was especially pleased to see there's a storyline where he helps instruct Luke McFarlane about how to be on Jeopardy when Guy himself was a contestant on Real Jeopardy this year. Did you create that ahead of time, or was it just coincidental?
It was coincidental.
Wow.
That's fucking very weird.
Yeah, it was really weird. It was coincidental. And Guy is like, I mean, I'm sure he's like one of the smartest people I've ever met. And but we were talking about it. He was like, I'm going to be on Jeopardy. And I was like, that sounds like my nightmare because I don't know I know no facts. I was like, yeah.
You seem like you know a lot of facts.
I really don't.
Huh.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite underrated movie in your filmography?
A favorite underrated? Real Genius. Oh no, in my filmography.
Yes. Oh,
in
Real
my
Genius.
filmography.
Well, we can talk about Val Kilmer too.
Real Genius is. In my filmography. I mean, I do love. It's like Francesca is my wife's name. Francesca and I created this Friends from College. It got destroyed by critics. It was one of those and we were like totally like, we love it. It's great, and it came out. I mean, I've never gotten. It really annoyed the shit out of critics, and. I love that show. Yeah. So I guess it's that. I guess that would be the thing. We could have made that forever. It was so much fun.
It's not like a movie. You had so much content. It was an actual TV show. Yeah. I can't imagine making a TV show and being like, and ultimately I hated it.
Yeah.
Exactly. I know. It was. So I think that would be the one. But I don't know. I really, I'm not very neurotic about the things. I kind of like all the things I've made, I think. And when I revisit them, I'm like, oh yeah, that, I'll certainly be like, oh, that scene could be shorter or whatever. But it's not. But I think that's the show where I'll be like, I still to this day, I'm like, I don't really know what we annoyed people about, but I do really like what that show's about. It just kind of.
We have to talk about Real Genius for a second.
Yes.
Is that a formative movie for you? This is an 80s comedy.
Yes.
That was, I think has grown in cult stature over time. Not quite Clue level, but like on that track. What is it about that movie?
I'll tell you, I loved it as a kid. I watched it over and over again. And then I watched it. I have 3 daughters. I'm a father of daughters.
I'm one of 3 daughters.
Okay.
Yes.
There you go. Nice. And I was braced for 80s, like horrible stuff.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really have much. It's like, there's like a light sprinkling of sexism, but not much. And it's also a genre mashup. So it's a spy movie. There's a bit of sci-fi in it. It's really funny. It's like a coming of age story. And and the acting is really good. I don't know. It's just like a really good movie. And when you watch it, if you watch it, you'll be like pretty impressed by it.
I'm gonna have to go watch that.
No, it's a good movie. And then I watched it with my second daughter, and she was like, she like loved it. And I was like, oh yeah, this is not, so yeah, it was directed by a woman, which is like very rare for those 80s comedies.
Right.
The like love interest is like the, she never acted in anything again, which is pretty weird. And she was really good in it. Anyways, so yeah.
Now, another movie in that vein, Better Off Dead. I'm obsessed with.
I was
from
obsessed
that
with that too.
Yeah.
I watched that over and over again.
That's like, in a way,
French fries.
Yeah, right. Just like the point of view is so askew and yet so funny. In a way, it predates things like Nickelodeon's The Adventures of Pete and Pete in the 90s, where everybody's like, too weird by half, and like, where did they think of this?
There's a whole claymation sequence where he it has a little. Sarah Marshall has a a little bit of that because it is about a guy getting dumped.
Totally.
Yeah, there's definitely some elements of that, and I watched that movie over and over again as well. It's so good, that movie. Yeah,
your own movie you watch?
No, not yeah. I watched Sarah Marshall over and over again. I watch it over and over. No, Better Off Dead. Better Off Dead and Real Genius I watched a million times, and then like not as great a movie, Weird Science. I watched a lot.
Oh, of course. No, we did Too Little with Kelly LeBrock.
Exactly,
yes.
Too Little.
More to come. You will bring her back.
Exactly, Kelly LeBrock.
Yeah. Nick, thank you so much for being here. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And the new season of Platonic is on Apple TV Plus right now.
Yeah.